Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2.
What? Do it again? All good?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3 4 5.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Is it working?
Welcome all and welcome into round 7 NPL action here from Knights Stadium. We have the Melbourne Knights playing host to Hume City for this clash, and it's an intriguing one at that. The high-flying Hume, the much talked about coaching change throughout the week. David Chick coming in, Cam Watson making way. What response will we see from this Hume City side? Well, for the Knights, they'll try and keep their momentum going. They picked up a gritty 1-0 win over Moreland City last week. They didn't have it all their way. They had to scrap, they had to fight, but they managed to get the all-important 3 points, while for Hume City, they're coming off a 2-1 win over St Albans. Josh Bingham, Lloyd Isgrove getting in the goals for the men who are wearing the white strip here this evening. My name is Simon Rathbone. Join me in commentary is Mark Ivkovic. Mark, welcome in. An intriguing one that will be playing out here this evening. Yeah,
good evening, Simon. Definitely an intriguing one. Like you said, much talked about coaching change down at Hume, and Knights all to play for, really, because if they lose tonight, they'll fall 7 points behind Hume City, and it's going to make life quite difficult to try and get back into that top 4.
For Hume, only sitting in third, 1 point behind the Premiers Avondale and 4 points behind South Melbourne, so they'll be looking to try and pick up a win on the road to keep themselves in touch with those high flyers at the top end of the table. Yet to see whether the coaching change will help launch them into serious title contenders in 2024, or whether they will be the architects of their own demise. Yet to see as they're going through their final preparations here. Kickoff not too far away. 2 changes for this Hume City side. Lloyd Isgrove, Mikel Platt coming back into the starting 11 this week. Josh Gillespie shifting to the bench, and Fletcher McFarlane dropping out of the squad, while just the one change for the hosts. And it's the goalkeeper, Chris Oldfield, coming into the sticks in place of Wiseman.
Jeez, if David Chick's luck hasn't already been greatly achieved, it's gotten even better with Isgrove and Platt into the lineup. Isgrove returning back to the starting 11 after returning from injury last week off the bench.
Didn't take him long to make his impact known, scoring, showing that he can score whether it's from a starting position or coming off the bench, providing the impact that they were after. This Hume City side, they've shown they can score plenty of goals this season, and remarkable goals at that. Their attacking flair making them one of the most exciting teams to watch this competition, while this Melbourne Knights side, they're never an easy proposition for any team travelling here to Knights Stadium. They'll be looking to push Hume for the full 90 minutes here this evening. Play about to get underway. And it'll be the Knights with the first use of it. Looking to start this game brightly and apply the pressure straight back onto this Hume City side. He's going to come out with a point to prove under the new manager of David Chick. Ching lofting that one long. Be a nice throw. Morton going down the line. Abdallah coming back for the defensive duties. Otching winning it back, running out of real estate before trying to chip it cutely forward for Abdallah, who eventually has the ball at his feet. Tries to dribble his way past White. Cries for a Knight's throw.
Just goes to show how strange the coaching change was at Hume City. David Chick pretty much sticking with the winning formula that Cam Watson implemented, 4-4-2 formation, Platt and Isgrove back in from last week, but the same formula.
Bingham looked to try and drive a ball across the box. Hume skipper picking up his first goal of the campaign last week in that win over St Albans. One of their most prolific goal scorers at the club. We're hoping that that goal will kick him into a run of goal-scoring form. We've seen the likes of Isgrove and Abdallah pick up a lot of the slack up front in the early stage of this season. O'Kane heads it down, but to the feet there of Sewell. Bramwell onto Albano. Albano running at Otching. O'Kane back to try and nullify him now. Semi steps over it. Knights on the attack, pushing forward. Going sideways out, reassessing their options. And Morton. White. Hume press, forcing them backwards. Carrigan. Morton, once again. Knights happy to poke the ball around. Franich. Morton had it poked away momentarily by Abdallah. They win it back, looking to play it forward here for Albano. Down this left-hand side, whips the ball in, goes across the face of goal. And a momentary sense of panic there for the goalkeeper, Aaron Arslan, as that ball just drifted ever so dangerously across the face of goal.
Jeez, I thought it was in. Simon was miscued cross that turned into a shot. Arslan backpedaling. It's been all night in the opening few minutes. Hume's barely touched the ball.
That passage of possession continues. Sewell, cute little flick through, a chance here, shot in on goal, and it's a dream start at home. Kieran Bramwell wasting little time in opening the Knights' account. And Hume City left scratching their heads as the Knights hit the front in the early exchanges, not the start they were looking to get under their new reign of David Chick.
It's absolutely shocking defending from Hume City, to be honest, Simon. 4 players getting caught to Corey Sewell and just a ball over the top, and Bramwell brings it down well to finish it. But they had a warning shot moments earlier, but just didn't wake up in time, and David Chick won't be happy with what he's seen early on in the game.
Just that weight of possession taking its toll. Like you touched on, Hume barely seen the football in good field position. And now Hume looking to play catch up in the opening couple of minutes of this contest. Fed through, chasing there was Hoare, unable to win the race to the ball.
Hume's been so good defensively already this season, so very surprising for them to concede a goal of so easily. Like 4 players just get sucked into Corey Sewell in possession. Bramwell just ghosts in behind all of them.
Now Hume looking to work it forward. Platt laying off with Lachlan Weir cantering forward. Got some white jerseys in the box, skips past one, whips in a dangerous ball. Platt trying to get his head onto it, and it was a crucial intervention that denied the Englishman on that occasion. Hume very nearly coming up with a response in the matter of minutes.
Jeez, that was a big chance, Simon. Great ball in from Lockie Weir. It was Carrigan in the end that got his head onto it to save the day for the Knights.
Be Abdallah with the corner duties. Whips it in off that left foot. There at the far post, and it's bundled in, and Hume City find their response. It was unconventional fashion, but they'll take it. 2 goals inside the opening 6 and a bit minutes here at Knights Stadium.
It was just went to see the replay, Simon. From our end, didn't look like it had crossed the line, but the assistant referee called it pretty quickly. I think on the replay it did cross the line. No complaints from the Knights players. Geez, exactly what the doctor ordered for Hume City. Quick equaliser.
What we've seen from Hume this season, they're an exciting team to watch. And in this contest, 2 goals already. Fans that have come out here at Knights Stadium been treated to a show in the early exchanges here.
And the very little Knights fans that are in attendance. Such a bizarre atmosphere here at Knights Stadium tonight. I could hear a pin drop. It's probably the lowest attendance I've seen in Knights Stadium for years. Just a very weird atmosphere all around with the David Chick in the dugout. Very low crowd in Knights Stadium. Exciting start to the game if you're watching at home.
As that ball played into the path of Isgrove. Plays into the path of Platt. Heavy touch from Carlson. Abdallah off the left foot, takes a deflection and flies over the crossbar. Nice bit of play there from Hume, almost catching Melbourne Knights out there defensively once again.
Well, they did look half asleep when they conceded the goal. It definitely was a wake-up call conceding that early goal, because now it's all Hume City.
Another chance from a corner. This time will be Isgrove with the duties. Plenty of tall timber in that box to aim for. He lofts it high up into the sky. He was looking for the likes of Platt and that coming around, and Maricic at the far post. Chris Oldfield taking it comfortably. Brancic went in the direction of Corey Sewell, driving forward. Switch of play. Out to the direction of Albano. Gian Albano runs into a wall that was Amir Abdallah. Draws himself to the free kick. He played forward, Mitch Hoare. Looking to feed it through Albano with the ball at his feet once again. Hoare. He's got 3 Hume jerseys around him. Releases the pressure with the ball backwards. Morton plays it back. Carrigan intercepted there by Abdallah. O'Kane trying to play it forward for Platt. Looking to flick it through. Abdallah now with the ball at his feet. Finds Bingham. Rolls over the top of the ball. Josh Bingham unable to convert on what was a good opportunity there.
It's a massive opportunity. Player of Josh Bingham's quality. Be very disappointed they didn't at least hit the target there. Just the ball just got stuck underneath his foot, but massive chance for Hume City. There should be 2-1 up.
Both sides looking vulnerable at the back. Could be a sign there's more goals to come in this contest. One there by Oching. Carlson. Ashcroft. Trying to loft it long over the direction of Isgrove. Trying to keep it at his feet. Call going the way of the Knights.
A fantastic pass by Ashcroft.
Throw into somewhat no man's land. It worked out favourably in the end. As Bramwell looks to play it forward. Now Semi on this right-hand side. He's got Ashcroft to deal with. Semi scored last week, looking to try and add to his account for 2024. Ashcroft strong. Knights winning themselves a corner.
Well, Ashcroft backs up that world-class pass that he just did moments before with some world-class defending. Tommy Semi, one of the hardest players to defend against in the competition with his pace, but Ashcroft timed that tackle to perfection.
Semi has shown some bright spots so far this season. One of the best performers on the pitch last week in that 1-0 win over Moreland. Scored the goal in the 61st minute as they whip in a corner. Sewell back across the face of goal. Falls kindly now. Isgrove. Going to catch the Knights napping on the fast break. Turns on the afterburners. In a foot race there, and eventually the cavalry comes across.
Well, there's no doubt that Isgrove's over his injury concerns. Jeez, it's about 10 yards behind. I think it was Carrigan or Saki that he was chasing there.
Maricic and Ashcroft, quite a tall defensive line for Hume this season. Seen them experiment with the likes of Fletcher McFarlane filling in at centre back on occasion this season. They found the perfect match for these two. It's left hand side once again. Isgrove finds himself in that deeper role, looking to whip a ball across to Abdallah. Carlson. Swede switching it left, back to the feet of Maricic once again. Platt playing it back in the direction of Isgrove. Platt spinning, looking to weave his way through traffic here. Two Knights defenders to deal with. Loose touch, poked free. Legally so, according to the referee. So free kick going the way of the Knights.
You mentioned that defensive pairing there, Simon. That's what makes the decision to remove Cam Watson so bizarre, with just the way he recruited. Look, everything that he'd done was 10 out of 10. Recruitment for this season, 10 out of 10. He brought across Lloyd Isgrove, Platt, Ashcroft, retained the bulk of the squad from last season that was capable of playing at this level, promoted youngsters from the reserve team, playing them in the starting 11 as well. Had him sitting third on the table, tick, tick, tick. So just still can't make sense of it, looking at them play now.
Well, 7 coaches in the past 2 seasons. You felt as though Hume had finally found some stability off the pitch. And you feel as though that was reflecting in the results. Their 2 losses coming against last year's grand finalists. They'll be hoping that under the new reign they can continue on that momentum and perhaps take themselves further in season 2024. Like you touched on, they've got the calibre of players right there. Mix of experience and youth.
That's why it's such a massive risk for them. Like in the past couple of years, okay, they haven't been the Hume City that they were a few seasons ago, even though the coaching changes did come at bizarre times last season. But you finally got that stability that you were craving. Great start to the season, playing some of the best football in the competition. So just doesn't make sense, but that's football, as they say.
Bingham to the path of Otching. O'Kane, one of those juniors that have come up through the system, finding regular time in the starting 11 this season. Miscued pass there from Maricic. Weir did well to keep it in the field of play. Carlson wrestling there around halfway. Playing it forward. Albano. Can't evade experienced defender of Otching. That time Morton just coming through the back of Abdallah. Of course, the Knights finished 4th last year. Bowed out in the preliminary final. Looking to try and go one better this season. It's been a somewhat up and down start to their 2024 campaign. Had the win last week. Before that was a 2-2 draw, and then of course their memorable 3-3 draw with Avondale a couple of weeks prior, when they came down from 3-0 in the second half. So they've shown they've got the tenacity and the fight to match it with some of the best teams. Trying to put that together on a weekly basis. The task for the team based out west.
They haven't found their rhythm just as yet this season. Even last week, just grinded out a 1-0 result against Moreland. If it wasn't for Jacob Wiseman in goals, pulled off some miraculous saves towards the end of the game. Just similar style to Ben Khan last season that Ben Suru's gone with. Just hasn't fully clicked. Some major losses in the off season that's been noticeable on the pitch. Josh Phelps and Ben Collins both departing in the heart of defence. And that's where the Knights have been struggling, is defensively this season. Just copping some soft goals. That corner that they conceded tonight wouldn't have happened last season.
Hume setting up from the back. Maricic countering just shy of halfway. Played forward in the path of Abdallah. Hoops it in, but off the head there of Franich. Returned after battling a hamstring injury in the early parts of the season. Crucial part of this Knights backline. Experience as Platt tried to drive a ball across the face of goal. Back out where it came from, and it'll be a Hume throw. lofted long. Bingham wrestling there, trying to keep it in play, unable to do so. So after what was a frantic start, both sides beginning to work their way into the contest. Intensity subduing somewhat. Carlson wrestling in the midfield. He loses it. And taking it back the other way, and Weir. Interception to the hands of Oldfield. Frontage. Morton. Isgrove lofting it forward. Bingham unable to collect it. Frontage playing with fire, taking on Abdallah. Abdallah looks to poke it free. Coming across to save his blushes was Ben Carrigan.
The Knights struggling with the press from Hume City so far tonight. It's a couple of mistakes now that they've gotten away with from the Hume press.
And Arslan playing it to Ashcroft. Arslan coming into the side after the injury to Jackson Riley a couple of game weeks ago. Cries that Albano was offside, and eventually the flag goes up. Albano with 3 goals to his name so far this season. Top goal scorer at the club. Carrigan. Head off the head there of Isgrove. Falls kindly for Platt. Tries to play a delicate ball across, and Franich not allowing that ball to go into a dangerous area.
Built hard as nails, Isgrove. Most players would go down in a whimper in that situation, but just got on with it.
Abdallah heavily involved early. Skips free of 1, skips free of 2, plays it across. Bingham! Well, he finds a chink in the Knights' armour, and he lands a decisive blow. Josh Bingham got himself back onto the goal-scoring sheet last week, and he makes it 2 goals in as many games right here tonight.
Well, we spoke about his quality and how disappointed he would have been at the big chance he had earlier on in the game, but he's redeemed himself there. It's a great finish, first time on his left foot. Chris Oldfield, no chance. But I think what's caused the Knights a few headaches is Lloyd Isgrove and Abdallah have just been switching flanks every probably 5 minutes or so. So it's causing a bit of confusion to the Knights fullbacks in Morden and Sewell, who to track and what runs they're making. So paid dividends for David Chick, because now they're 2-1 in the lead.
Abdallah's fast feet there just causing some headaches for the Knights defence. They weren't willing to commit to a tackle. He allowed to skip through a number of defenders, and he touched on late on a beautiful ball for Bingham, who showed all of his experience with a clean finish off the left foot.
It's a great response from the Hume City side, though. That conceded an early goal with a new coach, you think, oh, here we go. It's going to be a dropping, but they've reacted so well. Maybe the Knights got a little bit too complacent with the early goal.
Once again, Hume on the attack. Abdallah, ball at his feet once again. Got past Morton. Carrigan there to clean up the scraps. Albana, not much real estate to work with. Oching showed him the sideline and stripped him of possession. Arslan had to get it off his feet quickly. Kane plays it down, but only as far as Albano. Hoare. Saki. Now Sewell. Frenchman trying to find Semi on that occasion. Lucky Weir with the intervention.
Isgrove might get all the fanfare and attention, but for me, Abdullah's been the signing of the season so far. It's been absolutely phenomenal for Hume City. Scored a few crackers at Hume City Stadium so far this season, but his work rate on and off the ball's been absolutely phenomenal.
You can't teach the pace, and the pace that Abdallah shows, whether he's on the right flank or popping up on the left, pushing this Knights defensive line back, and that's opening up opportunities for his teammates to push the ball forward. They've found great success so far this evening. 2 goals to the name already in this first half. Ashcroft looking for Platt. Some great depth on this Hume City bench, the likes of Josh Galevsky, Ryan the Pine here this evening. He started last week. When you have the calibre of players such as Mikel Platt, it's a luxury of choice for the gaffer. Platt working into his time at Hume quite nicely after earning a starting spot in the past couple of weeks.
I'm sure David Chick was licking his lips when he saw the calibre of players he's got to work with this week at training. Hume City are genuine title contenders this season.
First yellow card shown for the evening. Might have gone against Corey Sewell by the looks. So the 27-year-old will have to tread carefully for the remainder of the contest. An early caution. When you've got the likes of Lloyd Isgrove and Amir Abdallah running at you, it's never an easy task.
You took the words out of my mouth, Simon. It's going to be difficult for him because you've got 2 very pacey wingers up against you.
Hume assessing options from the back. Lockie Weir gets his head up, floats it over the direction of Abdallah, who leaves it for Oching, who couldn't collect it. Morton through the legs of Platt. Now Knights moving it forward. Saki had the ball poked free by Isgrove, wins his side a throw. Hume flooding back in numbers, so the Knights go back and reset. Carrigan. Albano.
Here, David Chick barking the orders to continue the high press. It's working well for him so far tonight.
Knights work it forward. Carlson poked it free but commits the foul. Lucky touched on the high press. It's nullified the likes of Tommy Semi. He was dangerous in the past couple of weeks. He hasn't seen a whole lot of the football out on that right-hand side so far. Agent Gian Albano will have to inject himself into the contest if the Knights want to try and draw level once again. A lot of their attack going through him, the conductor. 11 goals in 2023, 12 in 2022, and then 7 in 2021. So a lot of their goal-scoring output going through him. Perhaps might have a chance with his free kick in a dangerous position. Sewell standing over it. Potentially makes himself an option at the far post. Whips it in. It's a good effort. Parried away there by Arslan, forced into a fine save. The young goalkeeper showing what he's made of right there. Hume momentarily out of danger, but the play continues. Saki tries to get it off his left foot. Goes to ground. And a yellow card shown. Tommy Maricic, the player booked just outside the box by the looks.
You can have no complaints with that yellow card. A very late challenge. Very unnecessary challenge to give away as well.
There's plenty of Hume players in the box to deal with the danger. Perhaps might have put his side under more pressure here with another dangerous free kick coming right up. White deliver here. Cross it over at the far post. Sewell. Albano. Maricic rising high. Sewell once again tries to chip it forward. And now Kane pokes it free. Isgrove with open pasture in front of him. Red shirts getting back in cover. Albano with a little shove there on the left shoulder of Isgrove.
It's a strange refereeing in that situation. Jack Morton went down with looked like a head clash there. Nearly caught the Knights out. Usually the game stopped when there's a head clash. So you saw Ben Suri on the touchline asking the question. And the Knights would have been seething if Isgrove had got through there.
Fortunately, Morton seems to be okay, making his way back into position now. So after that early goal, it's been mostly Hume that have had the better of the running in this first half. And now a foul outside the box. These are the kind of situations that Amir Abdallah eats for breakfast. To whip it in off the left foot, perhaps. He's got some tall timber in the box to aim for as well.
Strange that Oldfield's gone with a two-man wall in this situation. Like you said, I've seen Abdallah hit some screamers from this region already this season. He's got a lot of space to play with.
So Abdallah stepping over it. He goes for goal, and it's not too far away from that right-hand corner. Oldfield was positioned well. That ball came fizzing in. Heart and mouth stuff there momentarily for Chris Oldfield. Well positioned to see that ball out of play. Crisis averted for now for the hosts. A little bit of miscommunication between Ashcroft and Arslan there. Unsure whether to leave it for his goalkeeper to come and collect. Carlson wrestling. Weir goes long. Sewell wrestling with Platt. Call going the way of the Knights on that occasion. Carrigan. Takes on Carlson, comes out the other side, still going, driving into the box. Maricic coming across in cover, ball ricocheting and eventually played forward, and once again Isgrove bringing it back the other way, trying to find Bingham there through the middle. Seen Josh Bingham playing in that deeper role this season, looking to try and bring the likes of Abdallah, Isgrove, Platt into the game. A role he's done quite well. We touched on his goal-scoring profile. It's been his work off the ball. It's been allowing his teammates to get in the action, make them a more dynamic team, moving forward with the ball at their feet. Corey Sewell's been a busy man on that right-hand side. Not afraid to make his way up the pitch, put himself into an attacking area. We've seen him and Tommy Semi combine on a number of occasions already this year. Sewell found the back of the net in that game against St Albans. Franich. Eyes up in the direction of Albano. Bramwell, the Knights goal scorer there as well. One there by White. Intercepted by Weir. Clicks into gear, moving forward. Whips it in off the left foot. Abdallah lets it fall through for O'Kane. He was covered there by Morton as the youngster tried to play it across for his men in front of goal.
They look so suspect in defence, the Knights. You know, we mentioned the departures in the off-season, and it's reflecting in the way they're playing. Every time Hume City goes forward, they just look like they're carving them up and they're ready to score at any moment.
Just wonder if these defensive duties will take its toll and further down the stretch of this contest as Abdallah delivers. Punched away by Oldfield. The Englishman with a strong glove. Saki runs himself into a cul-de-sac. Gifting possession back to Hume.
Hume are just suffocating the Knights at the moment. They're really struggling to get out from the back. Even they're hitting a lot more long balls than usual tonight, and it's just coming straight back to them.
Hoare. Albano. Carlson bringing the ball back for his side. Back-to-back starting opportunities for Oscar Carlson after coming off the bench for a number of clashes already this season. Again, another player that former coach Watson brought in for Hume City this season. Semi back. Leaves it forward there for Bramwell. Hoare. Misdirected pass, and once again sloppy in possession. The Knights inviting Hume into dangerous position. Leaving the door ajar as Platt wrestling there with Franich. Franich wins that battle. Albano has it poked free by Otching. Applied the pressure there on Carrigan. Doing well to keep it in play now. Ashcroft boots it back the other way. Game of volleyball at the moment, and eventually Carrigan plays it back to his goalkeeper. Hoare plays it off into the path of Saki. Trying to find Semi once again. Lockie Weir coming up with the interception. He's done that already a number of times tonight. They're trying to bring Semi into the play. Having no success on Lockie Weir this evening. Tommy Semi. Ben Suri's got a lot of work to do at half-time, Simon.
the way Hume City is set up with their 4-4-2 formation, they're completely dominating the Knights midfield, overloading in numbers. That's why Knights can't seem to string together much possession at the moment, because even Josh Bingham's dropping into the midfield at times, and it's 5 versus 3 in the middle, and there's just no options for the Knights to get out, and Bramwell's a bit isolated. He's got a lot of work to do, Ben Siri, to try and overcome this midfield issue. Might have to bring on Anthony Juzel at half-time and tweak his formation himself to get back into this one.
And Semi goes into the book. He had a little meeting, one-on-one meeting with the referee just a few moments earlier. He said, I'll never do that again. And then a few seconds later, here he is committing the foul. So another yellow card for the Knights in this first half.
Always makes me laugh when the referee blows the whistle so aggressively to give a yellow card.
A stern word, I guess you could say. Maricic thought about looking for a teammate. Lockie Weir coming over the duties. Oching put himself right on this far sideline. Abdallah, fantastic control. That similar position for their second goal. This time couldn't find Bingham. Cleared out only as far as O'Kane. He had it poked free, and now chance for Knights perhaps to go the other way. Well-timed challenge there from Ashcroft. Knights looking to play it long. Lockie Weir happy to watch that one trickle out of play. Oching. Bingham, heavy touch. Left out a boot. Knights happy to continue play. White plays it back. Carrigan. Heavy workload in this first half. Albano looking to play it forward. Bramwell. Stripped of possession by Ashcroft. His cute little ball forward only as far as Hoare.
Well, I don't know how the Knights are going to score tonight when Ashcroft is playing this well. He has intercepted absolutely everything that's gone through that Hume City defence. A lot of experience, Ashcroft, but it's winding back the clock tonight. It's been an excellent performance so far.
Well, after that opening goal, it was a chance for the Knights to really take control of this contest. Like we touched on, it's a new coach for Hume, a few question marks around the side, a bit of pressure, I guess you could say, on their performance tonight, but the nature of the way that Hume responded almost instantaneously, just felt as though there was a weight off the shoulders of all the Hume City players and coaching staff as they got that first goal. Since then, they've gone into their work nicely and given themselves a well-deserved lead. Albano. Spinning. Sewell loses it from O'Kane. Playing it long. Oching getting out of danger. O'Kane getting in a tussle.
Clear instruction from the Knights tonight to put balls in over the top and hit these diagonal long passes, which is not like the way they've been playing this season or last season. And I don't know why you would pick tonight to do that when Hume City are so strong defensively, big-bodied. Not one of these passes have worked so far for the Knights.
Hoare playing a ball through. Semi getting on the end of it with his pace. Looking to bring it down. Gets past Weir. Semi playing it across goal and poked free at the penultimate moment. Tommy Semi almost turning something out of nothing right there.
And that's where their goals have come from the last couple of weeks, is just Tommy Semi's sheer strength and ability to strike the ball stronger than anyone else in this competition.
Semi been a handy pickup since coming across from the Altona Magic. Ball whipped in. Arslan spills it. Cleared there by O'Kane. Nervy moment there for the young goalkeeper. Fortunately, it was a Hume City player that the ball fell to. Hoare trying to replicate their first goal of the evening, flicking it through. The Knights have played Hume on 20 occasions, won 7 of those clashes, lost 8, drawn 5, so it's been neither side really having the better of each other in their history. In the previous meeting, Knights had a strong 4-2 win at Hume City Stadium. Before that, it was a 1-1 draw here at Knights Stadium. We've already seen 3 goals in the first half already. Imagine the fans that have come out to support their team tonight can be expecting to see some more goals come in the second 45. A few more tired legs and some of these exciting prospects begin to work their magic. Harry Ashcroft almost rolling an ankle as he almost stood on the ball there. Comes out Abdallah. Fed it straight to White. Saki. Long throw, Bingham trying to play it forward. Sewell sends it high up into the sky. Albano eventually brings it under control. Nice play there from Hoare. Looking to try and open up this Hume City defence. Albano, 3 white shirts in front of him. Going to go laterally.
That's what I was talking about, Simon. You can see there the overload in midfield for Hume City. Knights did well to get out of it that time, but there's numbers everywhere for Hume City at the moment.
Knights perhaps a little bit tentative to push the players forward for when they do lose the ball in those situations. Just so easily can be caught out the back with the front 3 of Hume causing a few problems already. Away with deflection, awkward moment, grabbed there by Arslan. Cries from the home support.
I think that was a back pass there. Maricic had no idea what was around him. Fourth official puts 2 minutes of added time on the board.
Hoare. O'Kane pushing forward. Isgrove. Got Sewell to deal with. Once again, a little nervy pass there from Maricic. Carlson. Playing it forward for Isgrove. Lovely build-up play here from Hume. Abdallah now goes off the left foot, takes a deflection. Safely taken there by Chris Oldfield between the sticks. Once again, the build-up play from Hume. It's been exquisite at times this season. They're attacking players combining through the middle of the pitch. Just unlocking opposition defences, and once again there. While the end result didn't work out that time for Abdallah, gave him a good opportunity as Knights take it back the other way. Albano pulled to the ground there by Ochieng. Ochieng almost gave himself away. Play on. As the half-time whistle goes, and it's Hume City under their new reign under David Chick. It was a nervy moment as the Knights hit the front in the opening exchanges. Hume calmed the nerves with a goal in reply just a few minutes later before Josh Bingham Gave them their 2-1 lead as they head their way into the sheds. We'll take a short break ourselves. We'll be back with all the second half action here at Knight Stadium. Second half action of this round 7 NPL Victoria clash about to get underway. Hume City with a 2-1 lead. Goals to Josh Bingham and a Mitch Hoare own goal, giving them back the lead after conceding early, with Kieran Bramwell scoring inside the opening couple of minutes. Wasn't a dream start for new coach David Chick. The 2 goals from the visitors this evening, just calming those nerves and straightening the ship somewhat as they find themselves in a commanding position. Mark a big second half coming up here for the hosts. Find themselves down a goal. A lot of improvements need to be made. They want to try and come away with this end of this game with some points.
Yeah, massive 45 minutes for the Knights and Ben Suri. They're going to have to play a little bit differently to the way they did in the first half to get back into this one, and they're going to need to get back into it to get some confidence. They've got a massive cup clash coming up this week against South Melbourne on Thursday night, so they're going to need to improve their performance to go into that one with a little bit of confidence.
You touched on the Cup. Hume City also taking the Albion Rovers in round 4 of the Australia Cup at Hume City Stadium in 5 days' time. That's when the busy schedule starts having its impact on these clubs, the shorter turnarounds. There's a few Niggles players looking to manage their injuries.
The dramas with the net and the goal. The assistant referee's not happy with it. It's the delay for the kickoff.
So while the Knights have maintained a somewhat similar roster to last year, trying to replicate their efforts, which saw them defeat the Port Melbourne Sharks in that elimination final, go all the way to the prelim before falling to the eventual premiers Avondale. They scored 53 goals last season. This year they've been trying to replicate that style of play, finding a little bit more difficult on occasion. The likes of Albano and co trying to kick off their season in 2024. Albano had 11 goals last year. He's already got 3 this season. A lot of their attacking flair going through him, and need to have a big second 45 right here as they try and get themselves back in this contest. Saki weaving his way through traffic, still going. 1 goal to his name in the 2024 campaign. Sayi Saki. Hoare. Unfortunately, the victim of a own goal from that Hume corner. Mikel Platt wrestling for it there at the far post. Last touch coming off Hoare wearing the number 7 for the Knights this evening. Nice little 1-2, trying to play it forward, but once again the Hume defence shutting it down. They go back and reset through Carrigan.
Well, this is the way the Knights started off the game. You know, they looked so positive and comfortable on the ball. But after that Hume equaliser, they weren't playing this free-flowing football.
As Hoare fires for goal, Arslan Strong down to his right. Like you touched on, Mark, a bright start to this second half from the host, looking to come out and find a response. Isgrove let it fall through for Lockie Weir. He's now shepherding it out of play. Bingham once again in that deeper role we've seen him take on this season. Carlson. Bingham wasting little time in working it forward. Carrigan wrestling with Platt. Platt just bullies him out of the way, but eventually the cavalry arrive. And now it's Albano up against O'Kane. Watching vice captain coming in with the ball at his feet. Ashcroft trying to spot the run of Isgrove just behind him somewhat. Knights winning the throw. Sake. Brought to ground there by Lockie Weir. Play continues. O'Kane, flick forward for Bingham. Bingham trying to play it forward there for Platt on the right foot.
Jeez, Bingham just held it up for a second there. Abdallah was steaming through free on the right-hand side. If he just held out that extra second, would have been able to slip him in. Knights got away with that one.
Frenich, the captain's armband this evening, as always. 27-year-old, a reliable asset at the back for the Knights. Bingham trying to find Abdallah. Abdallah with that pace at full effect. He's got Platt to his left. Abdallah goes himself and he finds the bottom left corner. Are you not entertained? Amir Abdallah with a decisive blow. Once again, it's Hume City. Continue to pile on the goals. And he is in some form in 2024.
Well, we spoke about his quality in the first half and how crucial he's been to Hume's success. And there's another example of it, Simon. Another cracking goal. Is making it a trademark to cut back in on that left foot. Geez, Jack Morton's got to do better in that situation. He got caught napping. Could have got to that ball before Abdallah did. Abdallah sneaks in behind him, cuts in on his left, and another superb finish to put Hume 3-1 in front.
Just allowed him the time and space, and once he gave Abdallah a sniff, he was accurate in that left-hand corner. Little Oldfield could do, except pick it out from the back of his own net. And after a momentary bright start for Knights in this second half, once again Hume just wrestling back momentum in their favour, and it didn't take long before Amir Abdallah added another goal to his tally in 2024. Now Platt looking to pile on the pain in quick succession. Oching wrestling for it.
Just surprised how much time and space they gave Abdallah to cut in on his left there and strike the ball. Like we said, it's probably the third time this season he scored a goal exactly like that. This time it was in the bottom left, the other two times is in the top left, but cuts in on his left and puts it in the back of the net. You know, teams should know what he's capable of by now, and just way too much time and space.
Just allowing him to pick his poison. While the likes of Isgrove, who's got the ball at his feet, as like you touched on, has attracted plenty of headlines. Abdallah has been in some fine form as he looks to play it forward here for Bingham. Off the right foot, a wobbly old shot. This time Oldfield collects. So now 3-1 up. Hume City, their high-scoring brand of football. Their attacking style once again in full effect here this evening. Seems a lifetime ago since Knights scored that opening goal. Bramwell covered there by Oching.
Well, if Ben Siri had a headache at half-time to try and work out how to get back into this one, he's got a migraine now. It's a massive task ahead for the Knights.
I'm sure the most diehard of Knights fans, they saw them come down from 3-0 against Avondale in the second half, hoping for some similar type of magic here at home, perhaps. Got a corner, whips it in. Bingham, his clearance only going as far as Isgrove at the top of the box. White, his pass too heavy there. Left-hand side for Morton. New manager David Chick, he's held positions at Northcote City. Just hold that thought momentarily. There's a chance here off the woodwork. It almost ricocheted in the path of Tommy Semi. The Knights players wondering how they didn't score. Hume caught napping momentarily. And what a golden opportunity that was for the Knights.
Jeez, they look like it crossed the line there on the replay, Simon. Just hit the underside of the bar and bounced back out. Jeez, Hume would have been spewing if they conceded that one, because that was really poor defensive work. They've been so good all night, besides that opening goal that they conceded.
Now Semi, taken there by Arslan, almost had it poked away by his own player, but comes back to collect. Game of inches, and if that ball had found the back of the net, Knights would have well and truly been back in this contest. Just shows how quickly the game can turn. Dallas stripped of possession, leaving it behind him. Saki. Now Hall plays it forward. Once again down this left-hand side. Numbers pouring forward. Tipped there by Arslan. Some desperation shown there by the Knights to keep it in play. Lucky Weir just allowing the ball to stay in, and comes up the interception, almost falls kindly. Plays it back. White chips it forward. Chancey on the left foot. Ochin coming across in cover. Knights corner coming up.
It's a great ball by Steve White. He's got to hit that first time. Albano was running out of space. I think if he got a hold of it first time, could have found the back of the net. Looks like he's in a bit of trouble though.
Knights just springing to life after that Abdallah goal. Nice little passage of play for them in the past 5 minutes or so. Once again threatening down that left-hand side. Albano back on his feet now. Hume with the corner to deal with. Ashcroft and Bingham on both posts. Arslan receiving plenty of attention through the middle. Some players take a tumble. Franich colliding with Abdallah. Referee having a word to both parties. Take two now for the Knights. Coming in at the near post, Platt heads it only as far as Hoare. Trying to bring it to ground. Fires off a shot. Saved there by Arslan on his right-hand side. Another fine save from the young shot stopper there. Pressure mounting on the visitors. Home support finding their voice.
Yeah, it's been a good period for the Knights.
Coming off the back of the head of Bingham. Still not dealt with. Chance here for White. Shut down by Carlson. Another corner.
The pressure's mounting on the Hume defence. Knights need to capitalise on this good passage of play.
Comes back out. Sewell. Sake. Trying to fend off the challenge of Weir. Albano. Sewell. Ball beating him over the byline.
Hume City just need to put their foot on the ball for a couple of minutes now and steady this momentum that the Knights are building. It's funny how football and sport in general works when your back's against the wall and then all of a sudden you concede a goal and you change your style of play and you're putting a lot more effort in. And where was that when the scores were level or you were one goal down? Nice players seem to have lifted a gear, but it might be too little too late.
Well, we saw last week in that win over Moreland, they didn't necessarily have everything go their way. They got a little bit lucky, a few big saves from Wiseman, saving their blushes on a number of occasions.
And the more concerning thing, that it was against 10 men for about half an hour and 9 men for about 15 minutes. So the Knights did struggle last week.
Platt feeding it forward. Old field. Maricic under some momentary pressure before heading it back to Arslan. He's been impressive between the sticks tonight in the absence of Jackson Riley. Once again, he showed some bright moments during the pre-season fixtures. Riley, who came down from Queensland, is the number one position this season, but Arslan certainly making a great case for his selection come game day. Held a clean sheet in his first game when they took on the Port Melbourne Sharks 2 weekends ago. Feeding it through, and fortunately for the Knights, Franich there to deal with it. Now they look to bring it back the other way. Saki. Albano trying to skip past Ochieng. Unable to do so on that occasion. This time comes in to try and win the ball back. Wasting little time and getting on with it. Saki almost lost it. Knights having to go backwards to go forwards at the moment. Franich puts his head up looking for a runner. Content with just chipping it around for the meantime. Albano whips it in, and once again Arslan there at the back for Hume.
He's got to do better in those situations, Albano. It's too easy for Arslan.
White. 25 appearances last season. Another key cog in the midfield. Carrigan has to go all the way back. Hume looking to take the sting out of this momentary Knights revival. Down 2 goals, pushing hard to try and find their second for the evening. Plenty of options through the midfield. Saki tried to leave it. A little breakdown in communications, getting their wires crossed on that occasion. Isgrove allowed Franich to wander forward. His cross too heavy, and as a result, Bramwell having to go back and collect. It's been starved of opportunities after that fine finish in the opening minutes. Score the Knights goal, Kieran Bramwell. Hawk. Fancy feed and tried to leave it, but O'Kane coming back. The workhorse through the middle for Hume. Flicks it forward, and now all of a sudden there's some open pasture ahead. Abdallah calling for it, Bingham. He's got Isgrove cantering on his left-hand side. He tries to find him. Semi falls for Isgrove. He tries the fantastic finish. Shanking off the side of the boot. Now end-to-end stuff as Maricic using his experience to leave it there for Ashcroft, his centre-back partner. Platt making a run forward. Carrigan taking no chances.
Hume seemed to have steadied the ship a little bit and regained control of the game again. The Knights came to life. Mitch Hawes getting more involved in the game. He's pretty much unsighted in the first half. When Mitch Hawes energetic and up and about, the Knights do look a lot more dangerous going forward.
Ball bringing it forward, ball at his feet. Semi out to his right-hand side. It's always going to be a tough ball for Hoare to come and get in the other end of. Ashcroft allowed to get up just shy of halfway before feeding through a ball. Carrigan positioned himself nicely. Oldfield's ball going out of play there, so it'll be a Hume throw. You wonder if the Knights will look to their bench at any point, try and inject some fresh legs in this contest.
They've got a few attacking options on there. You've got Felipe Sanchez or John Mabok, the youngster, to come on with his pace. Might be an option for Ben Suri.
Abdallah tries to find his partner in crime, Isgrove. Trying to take off the right. Weir continues run forward, and there at the far post, Bingham almost getting on the end of it as Lockie Weir put in a dangerous ball. Experience of Bingham showing there, putting himself in the right place at the right time. Just unable to get his outstretched boot onto the left back's ball as he whipped that across the face of goal.
Hume aren't backing down from this one. You've got Lockie Weir making a 60-yard run to get into the box. Still throwing numbers forward despite the 3-1 lead.
It's one of the most exciting aspects of this Hume City side. Anyone on the pitch can score. We've seen Otching score a great goal earlier this season as they whip it in. Chance for Oldfield. He gets a crucial glove to it. Makes them a tricky proposition for opposition defensive lines when you have the likes of Lockie Weir pushing forward like that, throwing numbers despite having a 2-goal advantage.
And then on the other side, you got Mark Ochieng as well. Just so much pace in this Hume City side down the flanks.
Another chance for Hume off the set piece.
Looks a bit underdone, Isgrove, doesn't he? Hasn't really been too involved in the game tonight. Looks a little bit heavy. It's going to take, I think, a couple of games for him to regain that form he showed earlier on in the season.
Do you wonder if Hume do score another goal, or with their 2-goal advantage, whether they give Isgrove a rest and bring on some attacking reinforcements on this left-hand side, perhaps. He's a tough man to take off the pitch, given we've seen what he can do. Came off the substitutes bench last week and scored. And it was an important goal in the end. St Albans scoring a late one to deny Arzon of his clean sheet. O'Kane once again getting through a mountain of work in that midfield. Isgrove caught in two minds, eventually goes back to the ever-reliable Maricic. That's a nice driving ball forward. Bingham trying to bring Otching into the action. Numbers now trickling back for the Knights. Otching trying to nutmeg his way through the defence there of Morton. Just feel as though the sting has somewhat gone out of this Knight side after that nice passage of play a few minutes ago. Chancey on the left-hand side! He's done it again! Amir Abdallah making a name for himself in NPL Victoria.
Well, we spoke about his qualities all night, Simon, and there's another example of it. Just how easy was that for him? You know, not many players can score a goal like that, but looks like Abdallah's done that 1,000 times in his lifetime. It's just so easy for Hume. Again, you give Abdallah all that space on his left foot, no pressure. And Oldfield's a big boy, and he wasn't even that far off his line. Abdallah's just poked it over the top of him. Hume City 4, Melbourne Knights 1. I'd say it's game over, Simon.
Well, they might be under a new manager, but Hume, they've continued on that hot form that they've shown the early parts of this season. Amir Abdallah with 2 goals to his name. And now, like you touched on, it's a big hole for the Knights to get themselves out of at home here. Bramwell fighting for it.
This is a big concern for Ben Siri, though. Conceding 4 goals at home, it's not good for the Knights. I can't remember the last time that they have conceded 4 goals at Knights Stadium.
Semi. His right-hand side, Arslan chips it away and finished there nicely. Mitch Hall gets one back for the hosts. Just breathing some life somewhat back into this Knights outfit.
It was great work by Semi on the right-hand side. Hume were disappointed the way they defended that, but Mitch Hall gives the Knights a lifeline. We've seen it happen, as you mentioned, Simon, earlier on against Avondale. Can the Knights do it again?
Well, for the second time tonight, the other side replying with a goal of their own right after conceding one. We saw Hume, they equalised after going down 1-0 in the early minutes. Mitch Hall just scratching out that Amir Abdallah goal somewhat, bringing it back to a 2-goal deficit. Abdallah almost left it behind him and the flag goes up. Don't want to go the early crow, but you'd have to imagine Hume would be on track for one of their best goal-scoring seasons in 2024.
Well, look at the firepower they've got. Simon, Platt, Bingham, Abdallah, Isgrove. Take your pick on who's going to score the goals from this season. So many attacking options. And they look so dangerous every time they go forward, not just tonight, but every game they play. They've been in every game that they've played. South Melbourne and Avondale, the 2 losses, both unlucky losses for Hume.
Well, I'm sure David Chick would be disappointed to concede there when your side can score 4 goals, and we saw them have a dominant win over Port Melbourne. When you score that many goals, it makes it tough for opposition teams to try and come away with the points. This Hume City train doesn't look like slowing down anytime soon. Just under 20 minutes remain in this contest. That Hall goal just giving the Knights somewhat of a lifeline as Semi lines up on his right foot, I should say. Parried away. Only as far as Saki. Hume not out of the woods yet. Maricic making himself big and sticking out his right boot. Be a Knights corner.
Again, we speak about the mentality of the players. Knights go down 4-1, get a goal back straight away, and now attacking Hume's goal. Again, they might have left it too late. They needed to play this type of football earlier on in the game.
Maricic using his tall frame to his advantage there. Ball given away by Abdallah. Watching. Heads it out of play. So the Knights continue to set up camp down in this Hume City end. So some changes to be made. So Steve White makes way. Anthony Giselle coming into the fray, I do believe.
Tom Verndl coming on for Jack Morton was the other one. Simon had a tough night at it. Jack Morton, Abdullah's run rings around him, if we're honest. Just to steady that defence a little bit, I think that change.
And Josh Galevsky coming into play for Hume City as well, wearing the number 10.
It's come on for Abdallah, which is a surprising move there, given the form that Abdallah's been in tonight. Unless he's copped a little knock there, that could be the reason.
Well, at the moment, he's their Ferrari. They want to keep him in the garage. So both managers go to their substitutes bench. See what players can make an impact. Sake. All too heavy over there for Gian Albano.
Interesting changes though for the Knights. Really, there's nothing that's really going to encourage them to get 2 extra goals. You know, like for like substitutions. Steve White walked off down the tunnel, so you could only assume he had a bit of a knock, and Giselle comes in as a direct replacement, and as we said, Verndl on for Jack Morden. But you need to change something up. You know, you're 2 goals down now. Can't die wondering.
Giselle plays it back. Frontage. Wano. Hawk, goal scorer. Fortunately, registered an own goal for Hume's first of the night, the first half. Carlson looking to play it forward. Pulling the jersey there, stopping Josh Gillespie's run. Cries from the Hume City players and bench. No call coming. Saki. Cutting back on his left-hand side. Hoare trying to thread the needle through O'Kane, and in the end had to try and go over the top of him. Illegally so.
I think he got away with one there, Tom Verndl. The referee did see it. He could have been in some trouble. He's only been on the park for a couple of minutes.
Platt gets himself goal side. Brings Isgrove into the game. The left foot, a chance. Ball poked precariously up in the air. Danger not clear until it's a wallop forward. Kane with some time. Nice little move through the top there over Hoare. Now trying to feed through a ball. Almost spilled at the back and falling into the path of Gillespie. He had 3 goals in his 7 appearances last year after coming in as a mid-season signing. Gillespie probably been the real victim of the wealth of options that Hume have going forward. Handy player to have coming off the substitutes bench for David Chick, though. Semi. Sake. Sewell collecting Bingham. Sewell already on a yellow card, but didn't seem to be any ill intent on the challenge.
A few games going on tonight, Simon. St Albans 2-1 up against Manningham United. Manningham down to 10 men. Green Gully with a 1-0 lead over Dandenong Thunder. And the Oakland Cannons in South Melbourne still 0-0 in the first half.
Big night of NPL action here on Friday night in Hume City with a comfortable 2-goal lead here at Knight Stadium. Isgrove onto Platt, weaving his way through traffic. Mikel Platt. Hoare, the 27-year-old, played it back to Oldfield, and once again the Knights look to reset. Time very much becoming the enemy for the home side here this evening. Partridge gives it away. Weir's forced to boot it long. Carrigan came across from the Bentley Greens last season. Semi turning on the afterburners, looking to go straight through the middle, the heart of this Hume City midfield. Received a bump and was knocked off course by Josh Bingham. Knights wasting little time in getting play back underway. Sake. Poke free, and now Hume are out once again. Isgrove. Brings Bingham into the game, almost steps onto the ball. Composure there from O'Kane to release Isgrove. O'Kane pins the ears back. Platt turning, fires. Goes wayward. Always going to be difficult from such range.
That's the beauty of having a 2-goal advantage. You can try and try those kind of shots from distance.
Shows the mindset that Mikel Platt's in, looking to try and add to his goal-scoring tally this season. Coming across from the National League this season, another handy recruit that was brought in for Hume City this season. Josh Bingham just receiving some treatment on halfway, the Hume skipper. .25 appearances last year. Josh Bingham brings great experience to this Hume City side with some of their younger, exciting players having his experience and that calm head, no doubt, playing such a underrated aspect of their success this season.
Yeah, a lot of his hard work gets unnoticed for Hume City. He works his socks off all game, up and down. For a big man as well, traditionally a number 9, but playing as sort of a deep lying striker this season. Even last season, his work rate was phenomenal. He didn't have the goal scoring record that he usually does, but like you said, his work rate's been exceptional.
Well, 39 goals in 80 games, like we touched on just there. His lack of goals, I guess, by his high standards this season, I don't think they'll be all that concerned given the impact he's had for those players around him, like you touched on. But when it rains, it pours. 2 goals in 2 games after opening his account last week. Hawk. Dazelle. Looking to wrestle his way past Carlson. Hawk couldn't generate any power off the left foot. Carlson sets chase, but cut off there by Franich. Wandering forward. Chips it over towards that left-hand side, that left corner. Aaron Arslan acrobatic as he made the attempt to ensure that one was going safely out of play.
And it did look like it was going to sneak into that far post. Arslan lost his footing a little bit and wasn't sure where he was. Well, so far so good for David Chick, really. It's like we said, you can see that early goal. There's question marks being raised, but they've been very good tonight. And totally outplayed the Knights. Besides the opening 2 minutes, it's been all Hume City.
It's an interesting dynamic. Normally when there's a manager change mid-season, normally the results haven't been going their way, and you might see that little momentary boost that a new manager brings. Players looking to try and impress the new gaffer and cement their spot in the starting 11. But I guess for Hume, it's a case of trying to continue the hot form that they've shown.
Well, the advantage David Chick's got as well is a people's person, and he's always reacted well with players. He's a very hands-on kind of guy, and a player's kind of player. Gets very, very heavily involved, and a lot of players have followed him around from club to club, and there's a number of players that he has worked with in this squad already in the past, so he would have found the transition quite easy.
He's held positions at Northcote City, Pascoe Vale, Dandenong Thunder, and most recently the Bentley Greens. Coming back to the club where he's formerly a player and coach as well between 2014 and 2017. So he's no stranger to the Hume City setup.
Yeah, he's worked with Josh Bingham, Maricic and Ashcroft. He worked with at Dandenong Thunder, and Isgrove and Platt, you know, his fellow countrymen, so he would have been able to understand their needs and wants as well.
Ashcroft with the booming boot. Platt continuing to pepper away. Medusul coming into the contest. Just the 7 appearances last year, recording the 1 assist, looking to try and make a name for himself in this Hume City side and his limited opportunities. Oching tripped by the boot there of Hawke. So ticking into the dying stage of this contest, Hume, they'll be desperate to try and close this game out with authority. Don't give the Knights a sniff in the dying stages. Isgrove playing it through. Oching trying to feed Isgrove on his right-hand side. Maricic all the way back to his goalkeeper, Arslan. Usul beaten in the air there by Number and Coruscant. Bingham heads it forward, cops a high boot. But Bingham was in on goal before he went to ground. Franich just caught in some hot water. Stuck out the boot to try and rectify the situation, catching Bingham.
It's a red card for Ivan Franich there. That's a very, very harsh red card. No awareness of where Josh Bingham was. Just watching the replay now. Oh, it's one of the harshest red cards you'll see, Simon. The more concerning thing is the way the referee, Andrew Marakis, had gone over to Josh Bingham to look at his face to see whether there was any damage to it or not to determine his decision. You know, if you're not sure of where, if it's a red card or not, you probably give the benefit of the doubt to the offending player.
Well, it's a decision that'll no doubt have a rippling effect on the Knights moving forward. Of course, Franich, such a key element of their back line, their captain. Of course, missed the next fixture next week when they take on Manningham. All of a sudden, that's quite a danger game on the road for the Knights. So if their task was tricky, it got even the more difficult now, down to 10 men.
I'm not sure what Franich was supposed to do in that situation. Bingham's every right to go for that ball, but Franch's back is towards goal. His back's towards Bingham as well. He hasn't gone with any intent to hurt Bingham. It's one of those unfortunate incidents, and maybe a yellow card at worst case scenario. It's the issues I have with, it's not easy to referee a game, but red cards are a very harsh penalty. You've got to be 100% sure when you're giving it. I don't think Andrew Marakis was in that situation. He took his time. His assistant wasn't even sure, looked at him for some reassurance. Like I said, he had to bend over to look at Josh Bingham's face there. So
I think given the nature of Bingham in on goal playing a factor against the defender on that occasion, like you said, a big call that no doubt we talked about in the days and week to come. And now, as a result, a chance just outside the box for Josh Gillespie. John Mabook making his way into the contest as well for the home side. Gillespie. Chance to try and add to his resume here in 2024. Coming off the bench tonight. Gillespie off the right foot. It goes through the wall. And then a penalty given. Well, it's gone from bad to worse. And all of a sudden, things spiralling out of control for the Melbourne Knights. Well, as Gillespie's ball went through the wall, just trying to work out what the call is against Sake here for it.
I don't know what the referee's seen there as well, Simon. I don't want to, criticise these referees too much, but it's come off the side of Carrigan's body. Marakis is making some big calls here. It's a bizarre decision. It's clear on the replay. He's got a great vantage point as well. I don't know where he's seen handball.
Well, now a chance from the spot for Mikel Platt. He scored his opening goal in Hume colours from a similar position against the Port Melbourne Sharks. Mikel Platt. And he delivers. And the exclamation mark added to an impressive performance on the road for Hume City. Well, it might have come under dubious circumstances. Hume City won't care one bit. And Mikel Platt making no mistake from the spot. And 5-2 Hume City on the road. What a win. And what a start to the new time under David Chick at Hume City.
Well, April Fools is in a week or so time, Simon. You'd think it's come early here at Knight Stadium because you wouldn't believe this scoreline. Hume City's been excellent this season, but for Knights to concede 5 goals at home, it's a horror show.
Back to the drawing board for the Knights. Any momentum they were trying to build through the season well and truly snuffed out now. Handball a call. Crowd finding their voice in the final moments. If you thought the crowd weren't pleased with Franch's red card, they certainly didn't like the penalty that was a few seconds later.
Yeah.
Hume scoring the most goals they've scored in a game this season. They scored 4 against the Port Melbourne Sharks.
Bad day at the office for the Knights. A lot to reflect on, and they're going to have to turn it around pretty quickly heading into Thursday's FFA Cup game against South Melbourne at home.
Well, after the start they had 1-0 up after just a couple of minutes, I thought Knights might have been in pole position to get a stronghold of this contest. Seems like a lifetime ago, that opening goal from Kieran Bramwell. Amir Abdallah scored a brace Kel Platt getting in the goal there from the spot to add the icing onto the cake. Hawk. Substitutes getting into their work. Semi. Wrestling there with watching. Hall once again collects in the midfield. They continue to persist down this left-hand channel. Now back the other way. Platt holding it up. Runners to his left and right. Had it poked out from underneath his nose momentarily. Now some free-flowing football back the other way. Mabok wrestling there, and the calmness there of Tommy Maricic.
He was never going to win that battle, Mabok. And take nothing away from Hume City. They've been exceptional tonight. The Knights have been extremely poor, but that's it's a reflection of the way how well Hume has played as well.
Skaleski goes off the right foot. Copped a slight deflection. As a result, Chris Oldfield able to collect. Such a handy cushion, a 3-goal lead, a chance for some of those players that don't see as much game time, a chance to stretch their legs. Some experience here in the top flight. So plenty of stoppage time being played out. It's no wonder given the amount of goals and, of course, that penalty and red card decision as well. Hume content to just wind down the clock. Platt applying the pressure onto Zell, gives it away. O'Kane puts it in some open area for Mark Otching. Turning, spinning, back to O'Kane. Can they find the back of the net once again? Usul. Heavy contact as they came clattering forward, and it's another penalty. It's become a thing of nightmares for the Melbourne Knights. Wheels well and truly falling off. There's heavy contact. That one a little bit more clear cut for the referee.
Yeah, that's a more obvious decision. You could hear the impact of that challenge up here in the commentary box. It's a lazy tackle there from Tom Verndl. Jeez. Like you said, Simon, the wheels have fallen off.
And like he did so just a few moments ago, Mikel Platt lines it up from the spot once again. Looking for his second goal. Mikel Platt, and it's saved by Oldfield. A wry smile. Hume unable to add another goal to that tally, but it doesn't take anything away from what has been an emphatic victory on the road. 5-2 winners over the Melbourne Knights. And if there are any question marks over Hume City heading into this clash, they have well and truly been answered. And the Hume City train continues to chug along quite nicely.
Yeah, well, that's one way to get the players on your side. Like you said, if there's any doubt about Cam Watson's departure, David Chick, that's the performance you want from your side to make them believe in your methodology. But as for the Knights, that's one of the worst performances I've seen from the Melbourne Knights for some time. And like we said, they've got a big cup clash against old-time rival South Melbourne in less than a week's time. Ben Suri with a lot of questions to be asked of his squad and need to turn it around very quickly if they're to get through to the next stage of the Australia Cup.
Well, there you have it, Hume City. Dominant victors on the road here at Knights Stadium. That's all for tonight's coverage. We thank you for joining us here on a Friday night, and we look forward to having your company next week.